I've got Ryan Waggett has been leading the way. He took a 1-1 scorecard from the first round at Hawkstone Park. Hayden Statt, he came in second with a third and a second, and then Freddie Gardner there came in third at Hawkstone with a second and a fourth. But we've also then got other riders turning up. We have got the return coming up in the 125 class. Well, basically, he was going to start as the firm favourite, like Jamie Keith, really.
He's had a bit of a mare, hasn't he? He broke a collarbone early season, and then he broke a collarbone again, I think, on the site lap in Spain.
Varying things. Actually, it was Hawkstone International where it first got him. He actually broke a vertebrae, damaged his back, was playing catch-up basically after that, then went to the EMX with his new ride with JK, broke a collarbone, and then recovered back from that, then went to, I think, Spain or thereafter, then broke the other collarbone. Yeah. So it's not been a good start for Jamie, but we know he's got the speed and potential, huge amount of speed and potential. So yeah, we're looking forward to that.
We'll see what he can do for against Ryan Waggett. I will say he was a surprise winner for me in the first one, because maybe he's a little bit under the radar with the new, the fast kids coming up, and Ryan's a little bit older. But he certainly came out the traps and went 1-1. So that's like the RFX 125 Championship is already on fire as far as I'm concerned.
Dirt Store TV. So thanks for the guys at Dirt Store, obviously, because without their investment, we wouldn't even be doing this live stream.
We would not indeed. Yeah.
Fly dope swaggy, that's how I roll. On another level, on another level, on another one above me. Never to the crowd, yeah, I'm feeling so supreme. Feeling so supreme. On another level, on another one above me. Never to the crowd, yeah, I'm feeling so supreme. On another level, on another level, on another one above me.
Um, 125 Racing, it just delivers on the smell, the sound, but always the action, because just 125 Racing, by the very nature of the bikes, you've got to keep it on the pipe, you've got to keep it in those RPMs, keep the momentum rolling, and it just makes for great racing. When you then stick, like I said, a bunch of teenagers all in one race on 125s, with a point to prove.
With a point to prove. That's the thing. They're all looking at. You've got guys in this race they're out there. They're doing EMX 125 as well, and so they're at a level where they're looking at pushing on outside of the UK, and they're coming back to our races, and they need to be seen to be winning them. And obviously, there's 3 or 4 guys in this one who think, yeah, I've got a chance of winning this every time I go to the gate. What we don't know is who they're going to be. But what I will say is, watching out there this morning in practice, you can see the guys. I mean, they've had a real like mega schedule for the last 4 or 5 weeks. You can see the guys who are sharp.
Yeah.
And so I'm expecting big things from Hayden Statt. Even though the results that come in here haven't, in the EMX stuff haven't been brilliant, here at the RFX 125 Championship, he looks like he's on point today.
Saying that, of course, the EMX that's a tough nut to crack. The 125s is a super competitive class at EMX. And the fact that we've got more British riders now doing the EMX 125, to good effect. I'll tell you right now, it's no mean feat just to even qualify. Like, it's hard to qualify just to get into the EMX races. And we've had Drew Stock doing that. We've had Hayden Statt, Charlie Richmond, all these guys who have a stab at it, and they're qualifying, they're getting into the race, and they're scoring points. They're only going to get better and better. So, right now, British Motocross regards of a next little talent pool coming through. I think we're in a good place because we had a bit of hiatus with like some real depth of talent for a bit of amount of time. But now we've got a bunch of good 125 riders doing it. The EMX 65 and 85 results of late showed that we've got some good young riders coming through as well. Like we said, the buzz from Hawkstone feel, the like a new era, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, this RFX 125 Championship.
It feels like it.
We're looking there at Fabian Junior Morrison. He scored decent points for, I think was his debut 125 Championship race.
There's Justin Congdon there speaking to his son Archie. Justin and his dad Phil run the track down at Landrake Motor Park.
Yes, yeah.
I'm sure Archie's done several laps around. Of course, we're going to Landrake later on in the series.
Looking forward to that. It's a great track. Always looked after well down there.
Yeah, Phil and Justin do a great job down at Landrake. So get yourself down there to just over the border in Cornwall, just over the river there, not too far from Plymouth. It's always a great one to go to. That's later on in the year, of course. You can see all the schedule and keep up to speed on our social media.
Here we are then for Moto 2 of the RFX 125 Championship. And for those of you that were with us this morning, Jeff, that was a fantastic first 125 race. Charlie Richmond and Jamie Keith putting on a fantastic battle for the win. And here we are on the gate for race 2 already. Flies by. Here we go. 15-second board is up.
Yep. Jamie Keith had a good run. Here we go.
Where they go, let's see who's going to get the jump this time. Waggett looks like he's got a good drop. Is it Keith up the inside? Hayden Statt's got buried. It's Waggett that's going to lead him out of turn 1. Didn't see who was in there in second, Jeff. Chester Hyde there, he was in mid-pack. That was a bit of a messy start for some of our normal front runners, and whoever it is that got away at the front, they've already gapped it. It's Waggett, and I think it's Keith there in behind him.
Yeah, it was Jamie Keith made a good reaction time, but Waggett with another flyer. Championship leader, of course, number 55.
He tipped off in this turn.
Statt early fourth.
Yeah, who's that on the 167? That is that's Jack Evans. So a good.
Jack's made a flyer.
Well, the rest of the field streaming through. Drew Stock there. He's buried in mid-pack.
Somebody going the wrong way. That's Fabian Morris.
Junior Morrison. He had a decent run in the first one. He finished 9th, so he's got to.
Alfie Geddes Green there, number 111.
Yeah, he's down. So that first 2 are broken away a little bit already as they go round the K-Tech loop into the trees, and we wait for them to drop down.
Statt looks like he made a move there. Has gone into third already. I think he's made a move on Evans.
Now, where is the number 30 of Richmond?
Yeah,
is that him there in third, Jeff?
Could have been, yeah. Or was that Hayden Statt? Let's see.
There's 2 Yamaha, so it could be either or.
Statt is in the red kit, so that I think that is Charlie there in third. Obviously, what you're looking at is the results from the first race on the timing column.
Yeah, they've not gone across the line yet. As Keith triples in, and he doesn't make as nice a job of that as Ryan Waggett did.
No.
But this is where he put the pass on for the win, or for the lead in the first one. And Waggett takes it nice and tight to the inside. It does look like it's Richmond there in third, Jeff.
Yes, it is. Yeah, then it's Statt behind him. So that's your top 4. Obviously, this K-Tech time and totem pole will change when they come over the line. We'll all get the current running order then. We'll have a good idea of who's doing what. There you go. Waggett leading, Keith second, Richmond for third. Then it's Hayden Statt.
Yeah, so Waggett will take the Planet Moto first lap leader award. So looks like that was the 5:48 of Hayden Statt then taking third position from Richmond, and he did. So that was a nice move. Got it done early in that turn. So is the 5:48 going to have anything for these guys? Oh, a big mistake for Jamie Keith. He lit the rear up there, Jeff. I'm not sure. Yeah, he stayed on it. It looked like the bike turned right into the fence a little bit. But here's Statt, here's Richmond. Well, Evans still there in 5th. Spratt there in 6th on the 221. Then it's Lucas Moncrief.
For those of you not following the series, Hayden Statt obviously is making a good ride here, but it's number 55, your championship leader. Remember, rider 184 in second, about to make a move.
A pass. Oh, it's tight.
Oh, they're banging bars. He's going to take it to the wall.
He's ridden him wide.
What great racing. Hayden Statt looks so up for it in third in this one.
So the first 4 have checked out as it stands at the moment. So here we go then. Keith, Waggett and Hayden Statt. Now you feel that Statt has got to find his way past Ryan Waggett if he wants to go with Jamie Keith, Jeff.
Absolutely. Jamie, as you heard, if you watched the first Moto, missed the first round of the championship. All he wants to do is not have the pressure. He really wants to win this championship. To give himself a fighting chance, he's virtually just got to roll the dice and go for race wins all the way to the end of the year.
Nothing to lose. There's no settling. Every pass he makes is going to move him closer to whoever the man is at the sharp end of the championship. And at that minute, it is Ryan Waggett. And here we see he does gets himself up the inside on the exit of the corner. Waggett out to cover the inside on the way in. And Keith showed him the outside of the track there, didn't he?
I think Ryan tried to get back on that line, didn't he? But Jamie was in that spot he wanted to go, and he just had to yield in the end. He had nowhere to go.
So they come past to start another lap. And Stat then still looking like he's going to try and find a way down the inside. Look in the background. No, he's run wide up the berm. Richmond then just starting to tail off a little bit as they come across the end of the start straight. A great view there, showing you the layout of this Canada Heights circuit.
But just like the highlight, we've got the drone up. We'd love to give you more drone shots, but unfortunately at Canada Heights there's a lot of power grid cables going around, National Grid. So we can't do quite as much stuff with the drone here. Hopefully in future rounds we'll have more of that.
Well, Waggett getting hung up, and did Stat manage to make the pass there? Let's see as they go up the step. No, not quite. But Hayden Stat definitely got a turn of speed that we did not see in the first leg, Jeff.
Yeah, he has come out swinging. He's absolutely determined. Maybe, you know, just disappointed maybe with his first race. He's all fired up. He's angry.
Waggett not making the same mistake twice and send Stat around the long way. Richmond still in. Oh, does he get down the inside? Not quite.
I can safely say by his body English that Hayden Stat is giving it his all. His feet have come off the pegs a few times. He's riding that a little bit loose. I wouldn't say he's on the complete ragged edge, but he's certainly giving it a really hard push to try and, well, get past Waggett, because at the minute, obviously, he's going to see Jamie Keith ride off into the sunset if he doesn't make a move quick here.
But again, it's about not panicking. It's a long championship. Stat triples in. Oh, that was nice. Drew Stott, when he was at our podium in the first race, he's down in 7th. Moncrief 8th. Edgerton 9th. And 10th is Harry Lee. So those guys, again, having a decent run.
Remember to follow some of these British riders next week. They're going to be at Ernay, I think, doing the GP in France, EMX 125,
yes.
And then they're off to Tunchentel after that. I know that Hayden Stout will be doing it, Jamie Keith will be doing it, Charlie Richmond, Lucas Moncrief, Drew Stott, all these lads are going to be going over and doing the next two EMX 125.
And there is your top 4 in shot, Jeff, our race lead across the end of the start straight. And Stat is doing everything that he can to try and put a pass on Ryan Waggett as they go down past pit lane. It really is a pressure cooker situation for Ryan Waggett. He was 4th in the first one. Let's not forget that's his first Moto of the year that he hasn't won, certainly in this championship. Stat comes down the outside. It's a lot drier there, but it's a longer way round. Is he going to get up the inside of Waggett? No, he's not. And then Waggett takes the... Now, Waggett, I think he's a couple of 3 years older than these guys. I think he's 18, so he's still a youngster, but he's a mature rider, got a lot more racecraft about him on this size of bike. Stat can't really make too many mistakes because Richmond is going to be all over the back of him. The man who took 2nd in the first race.
That whole wooded section, Phil, is naughty. I was just watching Hayden Stout. I think he hit every bump there was around that entire section, and he didn't shut off once.
We saw a cheeky line from Conrad Muse here where he cut from the outside to the inside to miss all the bumps. But Stat not firing it round the outside this time. He did that on a few previous laps. Didn't pay any kind of benefit to him, so chops back to the inside line, and maybe just not wanting to give track position to Richmond, because obviously the instant he goes offline, that allows Charlie Richmond to follow the 55 of Ryan Waggett on the Raji Racing KTM.
This is a great three-way battle. Meanwhile, Jamie Keith is getting away. I also want to give an honourable shout-out to Jack Evans, who's actually made a good start, and he's holding it down. So good on him. The potential's always been there with Jack. Just needed to maybe get a good start to prove it. And
yeah, he's 11th in Moto 1, Jeff, so that's a decent effort.
So he's still there in 5th, and then Drew Stott behind him is 6th. Then it's Lewis Spratt, Lucas Moncrief, who obviously is looking for a good bounce back in the second Moto after crashing on the first corner of the opening Moto. He's in 8th, Harry Lee 9th, and then Edgerton there in 10th.
Moncrief came back to 10th in that first one, Jeff, so that was a good recovery after almost getting tangled up with our race leader Jamie Keith right in the first turn. But Wagger just keeping the pressure on, not giving Stat any kind of chance to make a move. This time Stat then taking a slightly different line down into the bottom of that turn there. And they come up over that, and where they're landing, that's virtually a flat land, and they slam into the ground. Some nice jumps here, but these flat landings at Canada Heights are the ones that take it out of you.
Well, credit to Hayden Stat. He is he's mixing up his lines. He's not following. He's like back to that section. He's changed his line completely from the lap before. So he is basically just trying everything he can to find that little bit that is going to get him in a position to make a move on Wagger. And of course, you can't overtake anybody if you're following.
Oh, and here we go. Exactly that. Never follow. So all of a sudden, Hayden Stat's found himself caught up in Ryan Waggert's crash.
Oh, it's so caught up in the wheels there. They're going to lose a bunch of time.
This is why you don't follow. So Hayden Stat gets caught up in somebody else's crash. And again, look, it's easier to say that sat here like we are.
Yeah, I know.
But the thing was, he was running that outside line quite successfully, and he just didn't want to cede track position to Charlie Richmond behind him, which is, yeah, you've got to be on board with that.
That's the thing, wasn't he? He was caught in a rock and a hard place, really.
He really had to think about it, and he was too close. If he'd have been half a bite further out,
he'd have missed that.
He could have popped out the rut, and he'd have been there in second place. But as it is now, all of a sudden, Charlie Richmond back to second.
Well, mate, hopefully, mate, look at Jamie Keith looking behind him, mate, and they think, well, where have they all gone?
Yes.
Because he had a 4-second lead, it's now suddenly become an 8. Nearly, you know, so Jamie's probably wondering what went on back there, but he was starting to check out anyway. Maybe we can get a replay of that. I'm sure Simon, our director, will be looking at that, show you that again. But, yeah, you're absolutely right, Phil. If he had just been literally another half a wheel behind, he would have had the reaction time to pop out of the rut and miss him, but he was so
just
close
unlucky. And I think Waggett started to make that mistake quite early and couldn't quite keep his balance. And that's twice now in 2 races that the number 55 Roger Racing KTM rider has just had what you would have to say is just a tip-off. Not really a crash, just found himself on the ground.
This is where people talk about Jamie Keith, and he's kind of in his element right now. He did this so much last year where he got a lead, and then it honestly looks like he's out on a sighting lap. Like there, going through that section, didn't look like he was on the pipe at all. He was just caressing the bike over it, you know, not smashing into all the bumps. And honestly, looking like that coming down there, it looked like he wasn't even really trying. Like he was just free rolling around it. When Jamie gets a lead and he has that cushion between him and others, it is a pleasure to watch. His style and fluidity on the bike is really, really good.
And I mean, might sound a ridiculous thing to say, but I've always said that the easiest races you ever have are the ones that you win, because that's where everything just feels right, the bike works, you're at one with the track, your rhythm's good, and you're just kind of going, well, where's everybody going? I'm just pulling away, and I'm just feel like I'm having an easy time of it. Shout out to Drew Stock, he's up to 4th. Here we go, here's the replay, and just there, Wagget. In fact, I think that Hayden Stat ran into the back of the number 55 there, and I think that might be what helped him to the ground. We just got the replay there, Jeff, and I think that Stat just gave him a little bit of a nudge.
Right.
And so, no, look, racing incident definitely, but I just think Wagget checked up and Stat just came in a little bit hot, and that nudged the bike out from under the 55, and they both ended up in a big heap on the floor. But Richmond then now in 3rd, so they're a long way ahead. Wagget 4th, Drew Scott now up to 5th, Evans 5th, Spratt 6th, Moncrief 7th, Lee 8th, Brindley 9th, and Hayden Stat dropped to 10th.
Yeah, so a costly mistake. I think I just was looking elsewhere there when the replay come up, but yeah, it sounds like he came in a bit hot, and that's what instigated it. So,
but that's what these tight turns do, and you arrive just half a bike length too quick, and the guy in front of you, if he's not gone by the time you get there, there's nothing that you can do. But Richmond then 5 seconds the gap then to Jamie Keith ahead of him, and 15 seconds now back to Ryan Wagger, who managed to through more luck than judgment, managed to get away very, very quickly and only lost one position to Charlie Richmond, which will that will hand Richmond second overall if it stays as it is. And as we look out the K-Tech Tower and see the rest of the riders there, Zane Stevens down in 19th. And the last of our point scorers at the moment is the 144 Rob Sweeney. But track still absolutely perfect.
Yeah,
we've been helped by the fact there's not particularly strong sun today, but zero dust to speak of. That's where Richmond lost the lead in race 1.
Yeah, we have. Look at that little bit of cloud cover has really helped us out there. I mean, you know, it's always lovely to stand in the sunshine, whether you're watching motocross or whatever you're doing. But actually, from a rider's point of view and track maintenance point of view, we have got perfect motocross conditions.
I don't care about them from a commentator's point of view. It's perfect as well. We're nicely chilled out in the comms trailer and enjoying bringing you this excellent coverage. If you like what you see, please go to the MXGB-TV YouTube, like and subscribe. And like I say, that will help us keep bringing you this coverage throughout the rest of the season. As we starting to get into the back markers now. There's Richmond, the number 30. And try and see if there's any battles further down the field, Jeff, that we can go and have a look at. This battle at the front then. Waggett's got 12 seconds over Stock, but the battle with Spratt and Evans, that's just been a position, and Moncrief up there in 7th as well.
Yeah, looking at that, just waiting for the times to refresh here. I would say that's a very good battle, yeah. So there's not much at all between Jack Evans and Lucas Moncrief, and not far behind is Harry Lee. So those riders in 6th, 7th is starting to move down the leaderboard now. Jack Evans gone down to 6th. So maybe we can get eyes on that battle between number 167 and Moncrief 531, because Harry Lee's not far behind. And I should imagine Hayden Statt with the red mist down, because he'd be fuming under that lid, especially if he made the mistake and instigated it. He'd be angry.
Yeah, it's 6.5 a dozen, Jeff, for those guys. It's difficult to say.
Yeah, I didn't see the replay,
So there's Waggett on the 55, so he's currently in 3rd, but he's 20 seconds adrift of our race leader now. And this is the corner. He nearly made a mistake again, and that, I think that he just kind of came to a stop and just got a bit of a nudge from behind. But he's got 12 seconds on Stock, and then it's Spratt on the number 21, Evans on the 167, and Moncrief on the 531.
That battle is definitely shaping up. Jack Evans, Lucas Moncrief, I'm looking at the time here.
They should be coming into the
167, 531.
That's a lap rider. So this is Stock. So that's the 418 of Drew Stock. He's the next rider. These riders are all a lap down. And then
that's Lewis Spratt. He's 51.
So the 21. He's having a decent ride as well. He's moved through the field. He's overtaken Evans.
Yeah, another rider that makes the effort, crosses the Irish Sea every time, comes over from Northern Ireland and races with us. So big deal. Did very well, of course, in the arena cross as well, along with Harry Lee and those guys. So doing a bit of indoors as well. It's the battle behind these. Lewis Spratt is the one we want to try and pick up.
He's ridden through the group with Evans and Moncrief in it. And look on the K-Tech Tower as he threads his way through the lappers.
He did, didn't he? Yeah, that's I have a needle type stuff there. If we hold this, we should see going across the finish line. There's the battle. So it's the two riders, not the ones that have just been back there. Will it just realising traffic's coming? But that's Spratt. Yeah, he's in 5th.
He's, like I say, that's a good ride through the field for him, and he's definitely managed to break free of the battle of Evans and Moncrief and Lee. Hayden Statt not really made much from that 10th place. He's only made up one position, and there's the guy. There's the 167. So that's the battle there, the 17.
Yeah, that's
just in
really
front of this
close.
rider. Yeah, as they come down the hill.
This is a great battle. So there you go. Look, you got that. There's Moncrief with the red crash helmet.
Evans in front of him there on the 167.
And number 17, Harry Lee, is joining the party as well.
Yeah, Lee had a 7th in the first one. So 2 top 10s for the number 17 on the, which I think is on the 125 Fantic. Yes, indeed it is. So Lee then, he's closing in on these guys.
He's on the 723 Fantic, along with Rafe Broadley in the MX2. those guys doing a good job. This is a good performance from Evans. He's comfortably inside the top 10. Like I said, I think he finished 11th in the opening moto, did you say?
Evans was 11th in the opening moto, so that'll get him into the top 10 overall. At the moment, I think our podium will be Keith, Richmond and Waggett. Bearing in mind that...
I thought he stalled it there. I'll tell you what, that is really tight down there, trying to get into that corner. There must be a little bit of a braking bump coming in. It kind of hangs them up. And actually, you don't want to lean in too much because you'll clip the fence.
Yes.
Look how tight this is. We said it was shaping up, and we weren't wrong. This is a three-way battle here for 6th, 7th and 8th.
So as it stands at the moment, we've got...
well, look how close it is. Lucas Moncrief is going to be picked off here by... Oh,
that back marker, no, he just tried to stay out of the way.
He did. That was Freddie Willett. I think like Freddie and Reggie, Dave Willett's sons, I think this could be their first ever British Championship race. So
it's great to see him out. It's valuable experience. But the battle for the podium at the moment, third place on the podium, looks like it's going to go to Ryan Waggett, because although Waggett was 4th in race 1, behind stock, they will tie on points, and it will be Waggett that will take it on the better last race.
This is too good to take your eyes off, because I think Harry Lee just run it down. He did. He run it down the inside of Lucas Moncrief. Lucas on the free flow Madison Crescent Yamaha, looking behind him now, just thinking, right, is there anybody else coming up next?
Oh, the mistake there from the 167.
It looks like he might get him back here then. Meanwhile, Jack's just focusing forward, has no idea what's the shenanigans that's going on behind him.
How long we got left in this one, Jeff?
We have 3 laps to go. The time is elapsed. So next lap around, Jamie Keith is going to get the 2 lap to go board. Next lap around.
He's 5 seconds to the good on Charlie Richmond as we look at the pass. Nicely executed. Oh, it's a big kicker for the Fantic rider, but he does manage to find his way past. So Evans will now drop back behind Harry Lee. So it's been a good lap for the number 17. And he's going to back up his 7th place in race 1 with a 6th in race 2.
Well, 2 laps to go. Jamie Keith is already on the JK Racing Yamaha, the Italian EMX 125 team, which he basically rides for after winning the Blue Crew Masterclass. He's over the line, and the 2 lap board is now out.
So Keith then, I won't say he's absolutely checked out this one. 5 seconds is the lead at the moment, but he's certainly bossed this race. Richmond was gifted 2nd place by that tumble between Ryan Waggett and Hayden Statt about 5 laps in, or 4 laps in. Our race leader again on that JK Yamaha, that ride that he won through the Blue Crew system at the end of last year, and he's not really made a great start to his season with injuries. Just been very, very unfortunate. But maybe the pressure of having to perform and win a championship has been taken off him a little bit, and all he can do now is just to go out, win races as best he can. But here he comes, the number 30 in the background. Now you see Richmond just in the background in the Liat loop there on the S. Briggs Yamaha. What a good day at the office for him, and that will net him 2nd overall. And hadn't come off the bars there for our race leader. And he'll make his way around the Alpico bowl turn for the penultimate time. It was 5.2 across the line last time. Oh, nice bit of a wheelie. Doesn't get over there though. And now he's just got to regroup to get up that bell step up. And again, a lovely part of the track this, nice and flowing. So last lap then for Keith. .8 seconds, so it's not over. Richmond is starting to close in. If this is just managing the gap, then fair enough. But there's Richmond on the 30. He stuck a wheel in on the final lap, right down at the bottom in that Moto bowl turn. I just think that Richmond is too far back this time to do anything about it. And that's the 80 of Zane Stevens that's just gone a lap down. Yellow flag there in the layout loop. Not sure who that is. Let's have a look and see where Haydenstadt has managed to find his way up to 7th now. So he's got past Evans and Moncrief, but still not yet to find a way past Harry Lee on the number 17. Spratt in an excellent 5th, which backed up with the 14th. Will probably give him a top 10 overall for the weekend, which I'm sure he'll be glad to take back to Ireland with him. So let's have a look. Has Keith taken his eye off the ball? So there they are, that's your top 2. Here's Keith then, managing the gap. Richmond coming down, I just think it's too much. But if Keith makes even the slightest bobble or gets the wrong side of a back marker, Richmond is going to be there. Again, just nicely over the tabletop, not rushing it. Let's see how close Richmond is. It's not close enough. They make their way through the RFX waves and then into this Apico Bowl turn, and there's a lot of lap traffic here for our race leader to deal with, but I think he's going to be okay, and he's going to take victory in the second of our RFX 125 races. Again, doesn't get over the tabletop. Is this going to give, as Richmond gives this the big send, is this going to be enough? It's going to be close. But there's Keith across the line. Richmond then bogged down behind those back markers in the last couple of corners, and he'll come across the line. 1.8 adrift then of our race winner and overall victor for the day in our RFX 125 championship. A return to the track then in the UK for Jamie Keith with 2 wins on that JK Racing Yamaha, and then it is going to be a fairly long gap back to Waggett and Stock. Now, if there's any change in position here, then that will mean that Stock will find himself on to the podium. But I think Waggett had pretty much got it covered. Just trying to follow the live timing off the side of the screen here in comms. Still waiting for our 3rd place just to come across the line. There's Waggett, so that's 3rd for Waggett, and that should put him on the podium overall in 3rd, and I think that it will be enough for him to retain his championship league. Yeah, Stock a long way adrift, so Waggett just rode that 3rd place in. To be fair to Drew Stock, he came from a long way outside the top 10 on the opening couple of laps, and there is the 418. And then the rest of the top 10 all coming through. There's Lee coming across the line. So Stat got Lee on the final thing, on the final uphill section. So it's Spratt going to be 5th, Haydenstadt 6th, Harry Lee 7th, Jack Evans 8th, Lucas Moncrief across the line in 9th, and 10th place should be Christopher Brindley. So that's your top 10. We'll go for a quick ad break, and then we will join Jeff down in the winner's circle.
This is Dirt Store, your online one-stop shop for off-road essentials. All the latest products from the top motorsports brands. Gear, bike parts, protection and accessories. Whether it's an upgrade for you or your bike, Dirt Store has it all.
Okay, here we are down here with the winner's circle of the RFX 125, second Moto victory, and of course with it the overall, a 1-1, which is exactly what Jamie Keith is looking for as he tries to make catch up after missing round 1. Jamie, talk us through your day, basically. You've been off the bike for a while with your injuries. I guess you're starting to feel the effects of that towards the end of that one.
Yeah, definitely. There's being fit, and then there's being bike fit, and I don't think I'm quite bike fit as where I was before I did both my collarbones. But yeah, first in qualifying and then 1-1 in both the races is exactly what I need in today and for the rest of the championship.
Got to ask, how are the collarbones? I mean, breaking one is obviously a pain in the backside. Breaking two is even harder. But do you feel the effects of that, or is it just they're okay, but just the general fatigue?
Yeah, my collarbones feel exactly how they were, to be fair. Like, I don't feel any pain anymore. I did maybe once or twice when I got back on the bike, but they're absolutely fine now. It's more just like me and like my breathing and just bike fit, really.
2 good starts again obviously makes a big difference. And of course, you want to get into the lead early. Just that race management makes that life a little bit easier, particularly when you're coming back from injury.
Yeah, definitely. When you're in front, you can control the race a bit more, because when you're in second or third, you're playing catch-up constantly. You ride out your limits sometimes. But I made the pass early, got in front of Wagger, and I put a few good laps in, created a gap, and then I could control the race from there, really, and ride at my own pace.
Well, it's good to have him back. Obviously, good luck at the MX125. You definitely made a statement. You're back in it. Obviously, still loads of points to be gained after missing the first round. But carry on like that. And as we get towards round 7 and 8, it's going to be, you're going to be in the mix. Well done on today. Good luck at the next 2 EMXs. There you are. There's your winner of the RFX 125 here at Cannon Heights round 2. Jamie Keith running the Blues tyres hat. Let's bring in Charlie Richmond. Come on in, Charlie. Push over. Sorry to make you push your bike, mate. You're young, you're fit enough, you've got it all. Charlie, that was kind of a repeat, really, of the first one. You just couldn't quite... It just got away at the start there. You were buried back a bit in third. Had to work hard in that one, didn't you? Or at least that's the way it looked.
Yeah, I didn't have the best of start. I got grip and then I wheelied, but it is what it is. I was fighting hard. I just want to win. I just want to win. Love that attitude.
Tell us about a bit of that team, because I know, like Spence and all the teams at Briggs there, they're getting behind, like I said, youth riders in particular, and we love that. What's the vibe like in the pits? I mean, with the team, they seem to be so supportive of you. It looks like a real nice fit for you.
Yeah, honestly, there's no pressure, and that's what I like. And they couldn't give me any more than what I've got. It's just I'm really happy to be supported by them.
Well done today. I know it's not what you're looking for. You want to win every time, but that sets you up nicely for these upcoming EMXs. Good luck in the next 2. Obviously, you're off to France and Germany, so good luck with that. Anybody very quickly you want to thank, very quickly?
I want to thank S. Briggs, Airport Autos, and everyone else who's behind me, Track Industries, Mobius, Rhino Power, RFX, everyone else who's behind me.
Good stuff, Charlie. Well done. Good stuff. Oh, so you can see the disappointment. We like the passion in that. He wants to win. Move on out. We're bringing Hayden Statt into the mix. Come on in, Hayden. With this rather leery Raji racing machine, you got virtually every colour under the sun on this bike. Another good start for you today. I haven't worked out the championship points yet. I guess you're still in. You should still be leading it, I would have thought. But obviously, I know you wanted more today. But talk us through your day.
Yeah, well, I went out in qualifying, did all right, and then I went out in the first race, got the whole shot, and then I still had my sand settings in instead of my hard pack one. So then I got kicked about a little bit. And I ended up crashing, and then I come back through. I had good times all through, fastest lap at the end of the race, I think. So I was still pushing.
Tell us very quickly, we haven't got too long to talk, the incident on the tight hairpin down there at the bottom. We had a sort of replay of what happened. Was it a case that you got nudged from the behind, or did you lose the front end?
No, I ended up hitting neutral coming in the corner, and then as I was going to put it back in gear, I got hit and then crashed. So we got jammed together.
But, all said and done, it's a long championship. You're in the driving seat, long way to go. Very quickly, people you need to thank.
Yeah, Blues tyres, G-Force suspension, Rip and Roll goggles, Dirt Store, AS3, Moto Coach 38, everyone that helps me out.
This is where you need your dad or mechanic with the pit board listing them all in it, because there's a lot to take on if you just had a race. Listen, good luck with the rest of the series. We think he's still in the championship league. Pretty certain he is. We'll see you at the next round. All the best, mate. There you go. There's Hayden Statt. He's coming 3rd overall today. Well done. Sorry, not Hayden Statt. Sorry, man. Yeah, Ryan Wagger. Sorry, it's been a long day for me as well, Yeah, sorry about that. We're going to go now to some adverts. We're going to be back now with the MX2 class. What a right clanger I dropped there. Sorry, mate. There you go.